Hi and welcome to another episode. What we've got here is a Divoom Pixoo 64. If you haven't seen the episodes from before, check them out here. I'll put a link in the description as well. Basically, their quality control is bad, very bad. Don't get me going about the fact that all the pixels don't match each other for ratios what it is. They think it's fine, it's not. But my main argument with them was they delivered it scratched. Here, and here, and they wanted videos, and I sent videos, and we can't see scratches and stuff, and yet everyone else can plainly see there are scratches. So after a bit of headbutting with them, they finally sent out a replacement top screen. Now it may well be that all they've got to do is send out the screen protector, or not. I'm not too sure. And we'll find out in a minute, but they did send a new screen layer. Not the screen, but the bit of glass plastic thing that sits in front, but not the screen protector. Now, they haven't given me any instructions. They've not bothered to follow up to find out if everything's all okay. They've just left me to it. So, well, let's get to changing the back of the screen. So I'll jump cut and I'll have my blue mat and more fun stuff. So here we go, blue mat screen. Really going to do my best of not reflecting everything, including my face. So let's take things apart the way that they're supposed to be. I think, as I say, they didn't give me any info, they didn't follow up, they've not done anything. So all I can assume is you undo all the screws, which I will not bore you with, but you end up with all these around here, and we'll just put them there, starting at bottom left, well, middle bottom left, and go all the way around back to the other side of this thing. As I say, I'll just get in with that. So that's all the screws taken out. It's a size 0 Phillips head, by the way. I've used. Let's see if we can take this to bits, making sure we don't lay the screen on top of the screws. It's wanting to pop off straight away. It's one of those things, wearing the gloves that leaves you with not much grip. There we go. I can only assume there's some kind of ribbon cable or something, because obviously there's the TF card or the micro SD. There is. Right, this is where it would have come in handy having instructions, Divoom. Anyway, there's a little plug and there's a little ribbon cable, so be very careful when dealing with that. So pull the plug out first, maybe. Maybe not, maybe. In fact, I can't pull the ribbon cables out because they have gone and put glue on them. Don't know if you can see. I can't really zoom in and hold it up and stuff, but you can see in the bottom corner here there's a little strand coming across. That's where they've put the hot glue, hot snot. So, yeah, amazing, Divoom. I'm supposed to take this to bits then and possibly damage it because of the hot snot. I can see loads more screws all around the edge, which is going to be top and bottom. So I'm going to have to carefully see if I can actually get into this. This is ridiculous. Might actually be easier. No. I was just wondering if it'd be easier to take off a little circuit board that's on the back of here. I wonder they didn't send me instructions. This is their way of making sure if you've voided the warranty. laughably, because I told him it was rubbish, didn't believe me, and didn't want me to send it back on a claim because I'd bought it or backed it through Kickstarter. I wonder what it'd be like if you bought it directly from them. Bit of head scratching going on with this one. I'll be back in a moment. Well, literally had to take the gloves off. I've managed to reach into here, grab hold of some of the hot glue, which is this lump of rubbish here. Pull a little bit, grab all this, pull, so get a good grab with this, but use tension to pull with my fingers. I doubt I'm going to be able to do the same on the ribbon cable because there just isn't as much glue, I don't think. I'll try again. Oh, it might actually come. Oh, it has done. So yes, get some tweezers, use your fingers and drag. So that should leave us where I can just lift that little flap up and get rid of the ribbon cable. Not get rid of it, but get it taken out. Don't cut, there was no need to cut in the end. So on the other side of here we can have this, and it shows it was made 18th of the 3rd 2021, a Wi-Fi mainboard, and this was made a little bit later. I'm going to put this somewhere safe, obviously, and then we'll come back and have a look at which screws I'm supposed to undo on here, because you might see in some places there seems to be 2 screws, so we'll figure that out. So we come back to it. I notice that there seems to be 2 layers. There's a screw there and an upper screw here, but then a lower screw, upper screw, lower screw, lower, upper, lower, lower, that one. No screw there, lower screw, upper screw, no, that's a lower one as well. It's difficult to tell in this light. Upper screw, lower screw. Well, I can only assume that the upper screws are screwed into the lower screws, so I'm going to go around undoing the lower screws first and see how far I get. Put these at a different, away from them ones. So I've gone around undoing all the lower screws, all here. It doesn't come out, so I'm going to go around doing all the other screws and put them in a different layer again. By the way, I know I took that one out first, but I started again at the bottom left and went all the way around, so that when I'm doing those screws, you know, I'm always starting in the same direction. So let's see if it works this time. No, still doesn't want to come out. Maybe it was just the lower screws. All the buttons and everything on that side, so I'm going to tip it that direction. Oh, there we go, just pushing from the other side. So it was a matter of doing the lower screws at least. This is the bit that's scary now, because I have everything. I don't know what everything is. Was it a matter of undoing the top and the bottom screws? I think it was probably doing undoing all of them. Say that again. Right, so this way up, because everything's got a certain direction. was about to remove it, but I realized there's a key or a notch just at the side there. So this is the front right. There's no other notches. So that's the way it's going to have to sit. This is the bit where I'll have to be careful now and not show my ugly mug. Right. I lean it that way. I'm just going to have a look at it off screen. And I don't know if you can see when there's no light going about it, but trying to give you some idea. But there's a notch, what was hiding behind the plastic, of where they've damaged it. It wasn't like a notch for manufacturing, they would damaged it there. The scratches though, when I look at them, where are they now? Because basically they are all over the place. It's interesting glass though, I'll just flip it over. It seems to be frosted on that side. So I'm assuming it's 2 layers of polarization. Because as I say, it's frosted on that side, but not on that side. It's glossy on that side. Which is obviously the side that I want to be showing, but the major scratch is over here. There's a handful over here. There's they're all over the place. So it's pretty poor. Yeah, as in for me, just in front of my finger, I can see. And you can just about see that if you've got high resolution. Hopefully YouTube doesn't ruin the thing. But that line there, as you see, I'm moving it around. That's not a reflection. That's a scratch in the glass which was there. So I'm gonna go get the glass that they want me to replace it with. Still looking after this because I don't know how bad the other one is. Well, here's the bit of glass that they sent me. You'll notice there's no notch, and quite frankly there's no frosting. Hopefully all those little dots and everything are just bubbles. As in, I am glad I've clipped the other screen, even though that it's not of the best. But it goes to show that they changed their mind about something. So let's pop this open. I'm going to do this off screen because I want to make sure I'm watching what I'm doing with the razor blade. There we go. This is why I've worn gloves, because I don't want to put any greasy fingerprints, so I'll call that peeling. Since there's no frosting on the other side, I'm just going to rest that down there. Get rid of this annoying plastic. See, I know there's... So it's a proper bit of glass. I don't get why it doesn't have a key. I don't get why the other one was frosted on the other side and this one isn't. I'm assuming that's going to change the way it looks. But now I've got to carefully pick everything up and put it back. So the buttons are on that side. This is still the right hand side. Oh, what was that? I've just lost. Okay, so I want to put this back on. This is the front right over here, so it's the left. From the back it's the left, from the front it's the right. That's all perfectly fine. Let's try to make sure there isn't fluff to get in. Be careful of the buttons, but obviously this has to go in here now. So lay that down, flip it this way, trying to keep everything somewhat lined up. I really do wish I had a screen protector, because the one that they sent as a backup isn't the type that I want. I don't want glary, I want matte. Can we get this to line up? This is why I wanted it to sort of pop in this way, because I want the buttons. Come on. There we go. Yeah, I'd never work in their factory. Right, there we go. I believe that's everything's in. Make sure I don't scratch the front of it. Now, time to mess around and put all these screws in. So let's not forget, the ones I had here are for the bits that appear to be higher on the circuit board, on the PCB. These ones that go for the lower part, and of course these are the outer case ones. Since there's less of these, I'm going to put, and I ended with them, I'm going to put them back in. And let's not forget, for each screw as you're placing it in, go backwards just a little bit. So I'll give a demonstration of that. So since all the screws are the same, it doesn't really matter where they came from. But this is the upper side. Put the screw in, go back a little bit until you hear a boink. You might not hear it, but the point is go backwards. You'll feel it, but not always hear it. Of basically where the thread of the screw falls into place of where it wanted to live. Because if you just go straight away, you might, especially with when you're screwing into plastic, it may well be that you end up, well, creating a new thread in the plastic, and you don't want to do that, because over time you're going to ruin the plastic and then the screws will just keep going. Not that I plan ever to go back in here again, but you get the idea. Anyway, all screws for the inside back in, and then we'll faff around and get the back on. Right, so the screws are back on there. Time to get this back on, and I think the simplest way is put that in there first. And carefully put this in. I know you can't see, but believe me, I'm messing around trying to get this to go in here, and it's not that easy with gloves on, quite frankly. There we go. Just to prove a point. There we go, they're both plugged in, at least I hope they are. Put the back on. And that's the way it goes, but hey, it sure don't wobble, doesn't it? Sure does wobble, that's what I want to say. It sure does wobble. Just put a couple of screws in, top, right, and everything like that, just to hold it down so that I can test it. I know, I've got that out maybe. by all means I want to put the rest of the screws in, but I do want to test it right now, so because there's no point putting all the screws in and find out I haven't put the ribbon cable in properly or something like that. Plug it in, flip it over. Yay, it works. And my goodness, isn't it nice not having scratches all over the screen, Divoom? How about you send me a screen protector, Divoom? Come on, send me a screen protector so that I can look after this very nice screen of glass instead of a bit of diffused plastic. So they definitely have updated the idea of what they want to do. This it looks far better now without that diffused bit of glass that it had on, bit of plastic. And then the other side is now, of course, I just want to be able to look after this. The pixels themselves are still, my goodness, whatever they say they are. If anything, they're a bit all over the place now. Maybe I'm going to have to go back in there again and slide things up. It seems a bit fuzzy there, I don't know why. The lines don't seem to match up. That's not the graphic, that's the screen. I know I'm messing around, but I'm trying to... Oh, there we go. It'll look better once... And maybe you can see that it's changing a little bit. Basically, when I screw it down, I think it'll be fine. So let's flip it over again and screw everything down. Yes, definitely screwing everything back together again has brought back the straight lines of that. Don't know how that works, but it definitely is the pressure from the back. Right, so just needs a decent screen protector. I'll see what I can do with Divoom. But yeah, it's ridiculous that I'm showing you how to do this if they do the same thing to you. It's not that difficult really, but you shouldn't have to do it. If they do send you a new bit of glass, get them to send you screen protectors at the same time. I hope that was of some interest, but as always, click that subscribe button, click that like button, check for the description for the Discord and the Patreon links. But as always, happy gaming.